What's going on, YouTube? Well, it's that time of the year where I can actually introduce my other hobby that I'm very into. It is fireworks. Man, I wish I could do this all year long. Unfortunately, it only comes twice a year, right? New Year's and 4th of July. So I just wanted to do a quick review on this fire system in front of me. I haven't seen too many videos on this particular one, or I probably only seen one, to be honest, and that's the owner, Eric Alma. Big shout out to him, man. He pulled through. The reason why I have this right now in front of me is because he was able to find one in his warehouse, man, and I got that just by pure luck, you know what I mean? This firing system was completely out of stock, man. But he pulled through. But I'm gonna get into why I purchased this firing system other than the ones that you see on eBay. But it's very, very simple, right? You know, you have a fire all button, sequencer button, 12 firing buttons. You have your cues right here that you could set. They're just buttons, right? So 0 to you could do 99, right? I have 3 firing modules right here set up for Q00 right here. So I have 12 buttons, right? So that's all 12. If you want to use all 12, that's equivalent to on a single Q, it'll be equivalent to 3 firing modules, right? So 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 9 through 12. So, you know, 1 through 4, 5 through 8, 5 to 12. So, so for demonstration purposes, and guys, like, I know it's obvious, but you know, I can't stress enough, man. Like, don't have anything, like, don't hook this up if you're gonna test it, right? Like, don't hook up an igniter to a firework, like a live firework, man. Like, they sell igniters with LEDs that you can plug in if you want to test. You know, you press a button, the LED will come on. If you really want to test it that way, that's fine. These buttons, for me, they're, you know, I'm confident enough to rely on these lights right here. So very simple. You know, you turn it on, this light comes on. This button will remain off. It'll come on when your batteries are low. This thing takes 6 AA batteries. All right, so for demonstration purposes, we're gonna turn on these firing modules. And you know, these firing modules take 4 AA's, right? So if you do the math on, like, depending on how you set your show up, that's a lot of batteries. So, you know, when you're not using it, just turn it off. You know, when you're ready to, like, start your show, maybe like 5 minutes, 10 minutes before. I mean, even 10 minutes I feel like is too long, but like, say 5 minutes, you get everybody in line just ready for the show, and you turn it on, man, and then work your way back, you know, to your firing system, and then, you know, do a countdown. But so for example, if I wanted to do firing slot number 2, remember, I have these set for Q0, right? So if you have it on anything other than 00, you have to, that's why it's very important to label your firing modules as well, man. So that's great too, because Eric will, you know, he sends these labels, man. I just pre-made these labels myself with the label maker on the numbers. I didn't do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just did like the first number. That way it would indicate, you know, what group of you know, firing sectors this is. So I know that if this is 9, it's like 9 through 12, right? It's not gonna be like 9, 1. It doesn't work like that. So so if I wanted, let's just, so if I'm on 00, right? So if I wanted 2, this should come on, right? Because this is 1 and this is 2, right? And then it, like, say if I wanted 8, right? 8 would be right here. So this light should come on. right? And then let's say I would want, you know, 11. I do 11. 11 should come on. Now, then the sequencer button, that will, it'll do it in steps. I believe it's a 1 second delay in between. But if I press this button, right, all this should come, it should, you know, it should gradually set each one off 1 second apart, right? So I'm gonna press it right here. 3, 2, 1, go. Perfect. And then this fire all button, I'm gonna go over this in a bit, but I'm gonna press this and all the firing slots should go off at once. 3, 2, 1, mark. Yeah, so that, I mean, that's cool, man. So yeah, man, it's very cool, man. Like, I tested out with a single cue, man. Just, you know, I did like 4 fountains, right? And, you know, every time, you know, like maybe every, you know, half an hour, you kind of want to space out how much fireworks. I mean, because, you know, I know people that can just blow fireworks in 30 minutes and they're pretty much done, right? And that sucks. You know, you kind of want to space out how much, you know, throughout the night, you want to be able to enjoy fireworks, right? You can't just blow it all on, you know, in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you know. But oh, actually, let me show you. So say if I have, if these cues, if these firing modules are set for Q00 if it's programmed that way, say if I have it on like 10 or let's say 01, it shouldn't, if I press 1 or any button, it shouldn't work, right? So I'm just pressing random buttons, it shouldn't work. But now if I'm pressing, now if I go back to 00, now they should work. So I'm gonna press 2, I'm gonna press 10, right? So off. So yeah, I mean, it's great, man. You know, so this firing all button and the sequencer button, I believe the fire all, I'm gonna speak on when I purchased this back in January. You know, it's almost been a year, so I don't know if things have changed. So this fire all button comes disabled. This for sure, I know it comes disabled. And I believe, I think, you know, if you look up online, Eric can speak on it. He was saying that there was a rare case where, you know, all this just got set off like just randomly, right? Like everything just got set off, you know, and so they disable this as a failsafe. Now, if you want to enable these, right, like obviously it's disabled for a reason, but you know, like on other systems on eBay, like everything is gonna come out, you know, out the box. These are all gonna work. But for Eric, he disabled, this comes disabled. So if you want to enable it, just let him know, and you can get this P4 reprogrammer, and you can you could just program your modules. You can reprogram your modules individually, and then you can enable this using this right here. But yeah, man, you know, like me, just my personal, for my, you know, for me, it was like, it's just like an OCD thing for me. Like if I had this box, I want to, even if I'm not going to use that function, I want to make sure that it still works. So that's why I enabled it. I actually did use these functions on, you know, I used it on like some fountains and some aerial shells. So yeah, man, it's great, you know. That's the system, right? I have more firing modules. I just, for the video, I wanted to keep it simple, right? you're gonna find a lot of videos on firing systems that look pretty much identical to this, right? That you can purchase on eBay, probably for even cheaper. You know, and to be honest, even what you could purchase this for on PyroBoom, you know, at the time I think these were like just this alone I think was $100, and then you have to purchase these separately. I don't know what the prices are now, but even then, right? Like if you could buy a firing system with the modules and the control box like all together for cheaper, that's fine, right? The only reason why I went with Eric at PyroBoom is because of insurance, right? And when I say insurance, I say that because it, you know, and I mean customer service, right? So I've actually had a friend who purchased a firing system from eBay, right? Like, I think the only difference that you'll find, like with the ones that look identical, is like these buttons will be red, this panel will be yellow. But yeah, I mean, they've had like defective modules, right? And no response, right, from the seller. So like now they're out, you know, whatever, a module or two or whatever didn't work, right? So, and that's the thing, right? So I personally had a defective module, right? And I emailed Eric, you know, he got back to me, like, and that's another thing, right? He's very responsive, right? So 24 hours, he got back to me. We did some troubleshooting steps. I couldn't get it to work, and he sent me one right away, you know? And that right there, man, that means everything, right? I will spend in anything that I purchase, or, you know, anything that I purchase, like whether it's like, and you know, if it's an item or if it's a service, I will pay the extra money, man, for good customer service, man, and for, you know, to be taken care of, right? So I didn't want to go through the headache, right? I wanted to, if I had questions, I wanted to make sure that my questions could be answered, you know? Again, you know, these things look identical. They probably, I don't know, they probably are from China, or, you know, but for me, man, again, it was insurance, right? I wouldn't, you know, I had issues, right? So I emailed Eric, he got back to me, you know, and that's what matters, right? And like I said, I mean, like these instructions, right? Like like, you know, to some people it's just paper, but to me it means everything, man. Like just the little details like that, it comes a long way. Some of the stuff that, like the firing system, will just come without any instructions, right? And if you don't know anything, yeah, it could be kind of difficult to learn it, right? I mean, you could find YouTube videos on how to, like, you know, get everything to work. But again, like I said, I went with Eric just because of the customer service, man. Like I wanted insurance to make sure that, hey, if I had issues or that it could be addressed. And yeah, man, and that sold me, you know, that will sell me on anything, you know, if I can get good customer service, man, that's, you know, I always pay the extra cash. But yeah, the P1200, man, it's great, you know. Just getting ready for New Year's, you know what I mean, like a new year, 2021, you know, I want to, you know, I think most of us can agree that we want to leave 2020 behind, you know, and start fresh. I mean, as far as the pandemic, man, I mean, that probably still be here, but, you know, let's make the best of it, man. You know, it's been a very unforgiving, stressful and tough year for a lot of us, man. But yeah, man, like, you know, let's have fun, man, like everything else, you know. I say it once and I'll say it 1,000 times, man. It's all about having fun. Just, you know, especially like with fireworks, man, right? It's no different from RCs, right? It's about creating memories, having fun with your friends and family, you know, your loved ones, you know. It can, you know, that's what's so great about having a hobby, right? You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the hobby is, you know. It doesn't have to be costly, you know. Even if your hobby is just freaking drawing, or if it's just a pencil and paper and just drawing with your kids, you know, like, that that right there, might mean everything to certain individuals, so yeah, man. If you guys haven't picked one up, or are interested in picking up a firing system, yeah, man, I suggest you guys check out Eric at PyroBoom, man. Great guy. Again, awesome customer service. It's very fun, man. It's different from like lighting it with a match or a torch, or it's nice when you could just put your igniters in here, clip it onto the fuse. Obviously you'll have to make a note on your phone or like a notebook on what is hooked up to what firework, whether it's a fountain, an aerial, what brand it is, that stuff. Obviously you would have to make sure that that's all set up on your end. But as far as the system goes, man, it's fun, man. You can sit back, relax, turn these on when you guys are ready to set some off, and just have like somebody push the buttons. The feeling of pushing a button, man, it's like those cartoons, like when they set off an explosive or like launching a rocket, you press a button. But it's fun, guys. For the price, man, and customer service, I don't think you can beat it. As far as like a very simple firing system, like this does everything, right? There are the Cobra systems out there, which are thousands of dollars. I haven't owned one, but they look really darn good. They even got the fancy firing keys and whatnot. Honestly, man, if you're just like a hobbyist, like this is more than sufficient. I'm telling you, man. So I would rather spend decent money on a good system that works and put the rest to your fireworks. Because why have $1,000 system when you can't even fire anything, right? Like you spend $1,000 on a firing system, but spend a couple hundred on fireworks. Like to me, that's ass backwards. You know what I mean? Spend something, spend decent money on a firing system if you want a firing system or are interested in one, and then then go blow the rest of your cash on fireworks, man. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any other questions, just leave it in the comments below, and I'll try to get I'll try to get back to you ASAP, man. But until then, Happy New Year. See y'all next year.